بسم الله الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد. Today, بإذن ta'ala, we'll be conducting our last class with this group. Alhamdulillah, it was an amazing journey. I learned a lot by teaching all of you, and I hope you all learned something from me. May Allah allow you to continue your journey of seeking knowledge, and allow me as well, I'm a student myself, to continue learning Arabic language. Firstly, going with the list that's in front of me, Aqil, why are you learning Arabic?
For me personally, I want to understand the Quran and the Sunnah better, and be able to take knowledge directly from the scholars and from the books.
Jazakallah khair. That is probably the main reason that everyone here is seeking knowledge for. As the scholars say, Shaykh Haytham says, that someone that does not speak Arabic in this Sharia, in this religion, is like a blind person. You know, you hold someone, and that someone will take you wherever they wish. That's why it's really dangerous to take knowledge from other than its source, because the person that's interpreting for you, the person that's translating for you, if he himself doesn't have good understanding or he has hidden motives, that will affect your understanding of the deen. And this we see a lot extreme, like big number of du'at we have in the UK or in the West in general. They claim to be big, maybe they have hundreds and thousands of followers, but if you look at the reality, they can't even speak or understand Arabic, meaning even their own source is not pure. So look at a stream. The closer you get to the stream, to the asl, the main place where the stream is coming from, the cleaner the water is going to be. And the more the water goes through the cities and the villages, the more dirt or rubbish they're going to dump in that stream. And by the end, it probably will be extremely dirty, unable to drink or use. But if you go to the source, it's almost always clean. Of course, this is in no comparison with Islam, but that's just an analogy for you to think and understand. The closer you get to the source itself, the Quran and the Sunnah, yourself, without someone intermediary between you and the source, the closer you get, of course, with the understanding of the Sahaba and the Salaf, the more pure your Islam is going to become, the stronger your Islam is going to become. It'll be easier for you to remove doubts about Islam. Someone comes and questions something about Islam, and you immediately know that he has that concern or that problem because he doesn't understand Arabic. And I gave this example previously in our classes as well, that Mu'tazila, one of the first misguided groups that came into Islam, they said Quran is created. Why? Because they said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Allahu khaliqu kulli shay. Allah is the creator of everything. And they're using Arabic language. But again, that is the incorrect language, because in that instance, it means Allahu khaliqu kulli shay makhluq. Allah is the creator of every single thing that is created. Kul in that instance, the word everything in that instance doesn't mean everything, because Quran is kalam of Allah, it's a sifah of Allah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala spoke those words. Just like knowledge of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not created, the Quran itself is not created, it's the word of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that was the first aspect. Barakallah fiqh, jazakallah khair, Akhil. Why are you studying Arabic? Why are you studying Arabic? Jazakallah khair, Abhiyan, that's extremely important as well. Yes, you know, something that every year happens, and a khutbah that happens every week, if it's in Arabic, you can't benefit from it unless you understand Arabic. And I'll come, actually, let me mention this now. You know, generally, when we put goals, all of you have the goal to understand Quran and Sunnah. But sometimes the problem is when your goal is too big, it's difficult to analyze how far have you got. When you say I want to understand Quran and Sunnah, this goal is a big goal. And I'm telling you right now, it's not a small goal, because Quran and Sunnah is vast. It's like an ocean, especially Hadith, to understand every single word. And then also then you have the Arabic poetry. It's huge. For you to understand that, it's going to take years. It's always best, and this is again coming from personal development perspective, narrow down your goals. Narrow down your goals. Make it smaller, because then you can calculate, okay, how long it's taking me? Have I made any progress or not? Because, for example, if you study Arabic for 6 months, let's say, and then you open Quran, you're still not understanding it, you're going to think you have not made any progress at all. But whereas maybe you have. So how I would go about, if I started again, make a goal, okay, next 3 months, I want to understand Juz Amma. That's a definite goal. I'm going to look at every single word in Juz Amma, I'm going to write them down, understand them, listen to the tafsir, and understand that. If Juz Amma is too big, last quarter. So the last quarter of the Juz, I'm going to make sure to understand that. If that's too big, last 10 surahs, last 5 surahs. Make it like that. You know, when you make your goals realizable, small, then you can actually compare it after a while. Have I done anything? Have I made progress? When you say, I want to understand Quran and Sunnah is too big. Even alhamdulillah, me after speaking Arabic, I speak with Arabic, sit with Arabics, sit about Arabs, translate for scholars. Even yet, words coming from Arabic language which are really difficult, you don't understand them. You have to go back to the dictionary and check the root of the word. So don't make your goals vague. Make them specific. I want to understand 5 surahs, or I want to understand Surah Baqarah. If you want to go big, make it specific goal, calculated goal. You're going to reach there. But if you make your goal really vague, and this is the main problem. A lot of brothers and sisters that study Arabic, they quit because they're not able to realize what they have learned. They haven't done it in a calculated manner, and they think they have not made any progress. Sometimes they might have not made any progress, but most of the times they have, but they don't realize that. And because of that, the encouragement level to study further goes down. Barakallah feekum. Next is Uthman. Why are you learning Arabic? So let me mention that again, Uthman, until he solves his mic problem. Write down the goal. No, Uthman, we can't hear you. One of the key things that people speak about personal development, if you want to realize the goal and take steps to achieve that goal, write down that goal. They say if you do not visualize the goal, firstly write it down and visualize it in your head, most likely you will not achieve that goal. So when you want to memorize something, write down in 5 months, specific, put time period. In 5 months' time, I want to be able to understand the last juz of the Quran. When you write it like this, you can take more practical steps to reach there. Okay, so don't just keep in your head. Goals are not good in your head. Write them down and then proceed. No problem. You said that your goal was to understand Quran and Sunnah. Again, make it more precise, more narrow the goal down. For example, hadith wise, if you want to understand hadith, then let's say I want to understand in the next 6 months Arba'in an-Nawawiyya without translation. Take the book again, listen to the explanation of the scholars, take dictionary, Arabic dictionaries everywhere, and search the words up. Translate it first to English and then search the words up, understand the meaning of the words. That way, you have alhamdulillah finished Arba'in an-Nawawi with actual Arabic understanding. You don't need someone to explain to you what those words mean now. And of course, those words are repeated in many other hadith, like innama al-a'malu bin-niyat. Niyat, the word niyat is repeated many times. And many other words. Innama, for example, the word innama is one of the most repeated words in the Quran. Innama, indeed, only. It means hasr. So when you understand all of this, that same word, you can apply anywhere else. But at least you understand, and now you have visualized that. It'll be a motivator for you to go to the next book. You pick a book up with more number of hadith, and maybe another book that's Arba'in, or maybe you pick up Arba'in of Ibn Taymiyyah, or something else, and then you finish that. And then you realize a lot of these words are repeated. So you need much, much less work to understand the book. I remember I don't have that book. I wish I had that book with me. The first time I took it almost as a kid's book of Aqidah, and I studied it. Maybe 20 places in the book and wrote my notes down what it means, what the words mean. And literally after some time, I looked at the book. I'm like, how did I not know these words? Why was I that dumb? I didn't know any of these words. And of course, that book I can read it now, almost with my eyes closed now. But subhanAllah, it was surprising for me after, I think it was 1-2 years, I was looking at the book. How did I not know this word? But subhanAllah, you laugh at your own progress, how much progress you have made over the years. So yeah, pick up kids' books. Pick up kids' books and learn through them. Next, Zakaria.
The reason why I study Arabic, first reason is to understand the Quran and the Sunnah, and also that I want to become talib al-ilm, so like further my education in the religion.
Barakallah feek. Yes, Zakaria. So now what are you going to do? Summarize what I've said.
I'm going to make a goal for myself, which is achievable, and then carry on with that, and like build on it.
Yes, Barakallah feek. Write that down. Really important that you write down while you're studying Arabic. We said the why is really important. The why you're doing something is really important. Write that down. Why you're doing something, because sometimes you forget. And we're human beings, you forget why you're doing something. Write that down, and then write down how you're going to achieve it. In everything in your life, it doesn't have to be just Arabic. Anything in your life, and that will help you in understanding Arabic language. Jazakallah khair for that. Yes, just to add on here, a lot of people think they learn Arabic really, really quickly. You can if you work really hard, but not if you're putting 2-3 hours a week. That way, you're not going to learn fast. You will learn. I'm not saying you will not learn. You will learn, but give yourself a time frame. I was just today, I was speaking to another teacher from another institute. He is a student of the university, and he started a new course. And after 3 hours, one of his students messaged him. He said, I'm not understanding Quran yet. I don't think it's working out for me. And he replied back, brother, it's only been 3 hours. You only started last week. And he thought, I'm going to come and all of a sudden I'm going to be able to understand Arabic. So the brother said, that's fine, brother, you can leave. If you think you're not understanding, you can leave. these people have the wrong mindset from the beginning. If you have the mindset you're going to come sit with me for 3, 4 hours, 6 hours, 10 hours, you're going to learn Arabic, master Arabic, then don't come. You know, this just off topic reminded me of something else. You know, some people have waswas. A lot of doubts keep coming to them. So someone came to a sheikh and said, Sheikh, if I jump in the water, in the sea, and I come out and there's still part of my body dry, have I made wudu or not? Like of course, if you jump in the water and you wash your mouth, you've made wudu. But he said, but I come out, there's still parts of my body dry. So the sheikh replied back, you don't need to pray. He said, what? He said, yeah, you don't need to pray. So, Sheikh, are you telling me I don't need to pray? He said, yeah, you don't need to pray because the pen is lifted from Majnoon, from a crazy person. You've jumped inside the water and you come out, you still think you're dry, then you don't need to pray if you have that waswas. You either remove this waswas or you carry on, you know. So either remove this waswas and say, nah, your body's not dry, and you pray. If you still think your body is dry after jumping inside the water, then you don't need to pray, you're Majnoon, you have something wrong, you're not sane. So Allah understands, some people are like that, they think, I'm going to attend a few classes quick here and there, and then khalas, there will be Shaykh al-Islam in Arabic. That's not how it works. I'm going to mention a few reasons why people quit or people don't understand or learn Arabic even after trying. I'm going to give you 7 main reasons that I've seen personally throughout my journey, the last 10 years I've been learning Arabic. The top reasons that have combined people fail, or why majority of the people fail at learning Arabic. Number 1 is the intention. You're doing this for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Make your intention pure for the sake of Allah. Allah, I'm doing this for your sake. I want to understand the words that you have revealed to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and understand your risala, the message that you have sent. I want to be able to understand the words of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the way they were revealed, the way they were meant to be understood. That's number 1. Make your intention first and make it clean for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Secondly, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help you. You have come on this journey for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to understand this religion. Make dua, oh Allah, give me the understanding. Allah, give me the understanding of this language. Oh Allah, make it easy for me to understand this language. These are the 2 reasons that can be solved easily. The third one is really important, which we have, alhamdulillah, almost implemented in our classes, but a lot of other teachers and other institutes don't implement this. That is, when you start learning a language, you are like a baby for that language, in that language. Start learning by vocab. Start learning new words. That's how our brains are designed to learn language. Our brains are not designed to learn language by saying this is a verb, this is objective, this is the subject, this is subject plus object plus verb, this is how you make a sentence. Our brains are not designed to understand language like that. That's why you see majority of the people in the West or any other country, they try learning Arabic through grammar, they fail miserably. I've seen people that teach book 1, 2, 3 of Medina. They teach all these 3 books. They teach them, they're teachers, yet they cannot converse with you in Arabic. Why? Because that's all they've been learning. This is mudaf, this is mudaf ilayh, this is atf. They've just learned the rules, but they've never learned the language, the words. Once you learn the language, you learn the vocab, you learn how to make sentences, the grammar will come itself. And again, all of you can speak really good English. But if I ask you, give me a past perfect tense, almost none of you can give me a sentence like that. If I ask the same question to someone studying in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, give me a subject plus verb plus object, immediately they'll give you one. Why? Because that's what they studied. But is that English better than yours? No way. Why? Because this is the method they learn. Grammar. They can give you all the grammar rules, but they can't speak and they can't understand. So again, a human brain is designed to learn language by words, like a baby. Baby, the first word says baba, mama, food, water, these words, banana. It's small stuff. And then they join those words. They start joining those words. And then after that, they'll learn how to make full sentences. So that's number 3. The method is extremely important. And this is one of the main reasons people fail. Number 4 is time. I mentioned that a bit earlier on. I want to repeat that. You're learning a new language. New language can take anywhere between 1 to 5 years to master something. Even anything, art, it'll take you time to master it. So don't give yourself 6 months and you don't learn Arabic, you can't translate Quran, and you're off and you leave. You lose your motivation. No, give us time. Give yourself time. You need at least 1 to 5 years to master a language, for you to be able to teach it, especially you that you don't live in an Arabic country where your everyday dealings are in Arabic. No, you don't have that. So give yourself time, take it slowly, but eventually you'll get there as long as you don't stop. If you do not stop, I promise you'll get there. The problem is people do 1 year, 1.5 years, 2 years, they forget. or they take long breaks in between. They study for 1 year, they have 6 months break, and then they study. That's not how you study a language. You're not serious. You need to put a bit more jid. You be more serious in learning language. Number five, one of the main reasons that students don't learn is because of the teacher. Some of the teachers are not trained to teach. They know their stuff. They know it maybe more than anyone else, but they don't know how to convey that message. Whereas you find in the class, the teacher is speaking 70-80% of the time, sometimes even Allah al-Mustan, 90% of the time the teacher is speaking. If you're teaching people how to speak a language, then it makes sense, let them speak. If the teacher in the class is speaking more than 30% of the time, I'll tell you right now, change your teacher. He knows his stuff, but he doesn't know how to teach. Key thing for a student is to be able to practice. You build a safe environment for the student, so the student can learn language. They can practice with each other. They can practice in an environment that is learning, that's encouraging. It's an environment that no one laughs at him or her. So find a teacher that allows you to speak. If a teacher comes and literally starts saying, this is how you say this is how you say this, and he keeps moving on, then there's no point of him teaching. You can just go watch a video online and just repeat after the video. If a teacher is not there correcting you after you say how you speak, then he's not really a teacher. He's just a talk that you're listening to. So that's, again, number 3 and 5, the method and the teacher for me are the most important thing. 6th, the determination of the student. Again, we've touched on that today various times, but a lot of people, they simply wish to learn Arabic. Yeah, Quran is in Arabic, I want to understand Hadith, I want to understand Quran. They have a wish. Just like a lot of people wish they become rich or they become millionaires. It's simply a wish they have. You ask anyone, you want to be rich? He says, yes. That's just a wish. Similarly, if you ask anyone, you want to study Arabic, learn Arabic? Yes, I want to study Arabic. But they don't have the determination, the work that it takes. And this is the biggest problems I've seen, even students that come to Medina, they get accepted here, they think that this journey is like a train, where they're going to jump in on a train, and it's automatically going to take them to the station, and they're going to get off and khalas, become a scholar of Arabic language, scholar of Islam. Wallahi, it's exactly the opposite of that. It takes hard work. It takes work every single day. You have to wake up, go to classes, don't be late, understand, do your homework, come back, repeat the same thing. It takes time. And this is one of the biggest reasons why people, you'll be surprised. Majority of the people that come to Medina University from the West, they quit. Majority. I don't want to give you a number because it's massive, it's huge. Why? Because they simply think by them coming here, khalas, they're going to become scholars. Once they realize how much work it requires, and they know that they're not prepared, or they don't have it in them to put all that work in. So, Arabic language is not like a train. Is that you're going to hop in, on a class, and khalas, at the end of the class, you're going to be able to, mashallah, brother, you studied this, you've become. No, it's not going to be like that. It's hard work. They come in, work, do the homework, repeat. Lastly, your surroundings. Your surroundings make a big impact on your learning language. Again, if you're not in an Arabic country, if you're not in Egypt or any other country that speak Arabic, it'll become a bit more difficult to implement Arabic, let's say. So therefore, you need to build a surrounding around you to help you understand Arabic. When I was a beginner, I used to do this, put notes around your house. I would put a hadith, I buy a board in eBay, write hadith on there. And you see it 10 times, 20 times daily. And those hadith are still in my head, long hadith. I can read it to you. You wake me up from that, I can read the hadith for you. Why? Because it was there for a year in front of me. Put notes, post-it notes around your house, new words that you've learned. Make use of apps that you have. And Sheikh Haytham, our Mashaykh say, even change your phone. It'll be difficult, it'll be extremely difficult, but change the language in your phone to Arabic, you'll struggle for 3-4 weeks. But after that, you'll get used to it. You need to mold your surroundings to help you to learn Arabic. Find a person or two Arabs that you can speak to, even basic Arabic. But once a week, just give me 10 minutes of your time. Call them, speak to them, or message anyone that speaks Arabic. Message them in Arabic. It's going to be tough. I'm telling you right now. It's going to, as I mentioned before, it will require you to come out of the comfort zone you built yourself. It's much easier to speak in English, but speak to them in Arabic, and then you will feel the difference. Barakallah feekum. This was the 7 main reasons why people stop or fail at learning Arabic. Before I move on to the last part, which I want to mention a really nice story before we leave. Shukri's joined. Anyone has any questions or anything? So Al-Biya Bain Yadayk, finished that fully. There's not one book. It's now 6 books. You finish the 6 books properly, i.e. you understand everything what's going on. You can speak, you can answer people's questions. Then you can either quickly whiz through the Arabic Medina series. You probably really easily whiz through that. If you study this, all 3, Arabic, maybe each book 2 weeks, 3 weeks max. or give it a month. In 3 months, you'll finish the 3 books of Medina, and then you move on to more advanced Arabic grammar, which is Al-Ajurumiyya. And again, it's a big problem in the West. I've seen people teaching Al-Ajurumiyya for beginners. If someone doesn't speak the language, he cannot make a sentence. How the heck are you sitting there and teaching Al-Ajurumiyya? I've seen that many times. And Al-Ajurumiyya is a really good Arabic grammar book, but it's supposed to be for Arabs. I.e., now if you study and finish these 3 books or 6 books of Arabic, then yeah, you are similar understanding like an Arab. You can make sentences, you can study the grammar. But for people to come, the first book to teach in the UK is Al-Ajurumiyya. I think there's something wrong with those teachers. Allah musta'an. They don't know how to teach. And again, if I open a mathematics books and I give you formulas and you haven't done the basic maths, everyone's going to, why is this teacher doing this? No one's going to attend that class. But yeah, people come and teach Ajurumiyya in UK, and the students are sitting there making notes. And I 100% know these students have got jack. They don't understand what's going on at all. Why? Because they don't speak the language. How are you making notes for a book that's supposed to be for Arabs, and you're trying to understand Arabic through that book? So yes, finish that first, and then you move to Arabic Medina books, and then you move to Ajurumiyya, and then there's of course Alfiya ibn Malik and other books. But a lot of people say, but these books, Medina books, are taught in Medina. Are you saying their curriculum is wrong? That's what a lot of people think. These books, yes, they're taught in Medina. Firstly, they were written about 40 years ago. They were suitable, 40 years ago. That's number one. Secondly, these books are taught alongside 4 or 5 other books. There's a book, Kitaba, for writing. There's a book for speaking. There's a book for reading. So they have all of that covered. And then they add grammar on top. Not like they come and give you only grammar. So in UK, what they've done, only translated the grammar books of the curriculum from the university, and they teach that as if that's the norm. No, you teach them speaking first, learning, reading, understanding, and then you add the grammar on top. Or at the same time, you can do that. But just to teach grammar for people that don't learn language is not the correct way. That's why you see majority, 90%, maybe 80% of people learning Arabic in the West fail. Egypt, personally, if the political affairs are good, you don't put your life in danger, then it's a really good country to study Arabic in. That's probably one of the best. The reason being is because the quality of the teachers is really, really high. They have really excellent teachers that have been teaching there for years, for centuries. Egypt is good for only 2 things, for Arabic language and Quran. I would not learn anything else from there. Generally speaking, Arabic and Quran. But of course, Aqidah and other Islamic studies, Saudi and a lot of other countries are better than them. But Quran and Arabic, they have no parallel. They're the best out there. Of course, there are some teachers here and there. I'm talking about generally. Yeah, if I could, I would go Egypt. I studied with the teachers from Egypt when I started learning, and they were some of the best teachers I had. You cannot minimize Zoom. Okay. Now, I want to just finish this on a lighter note, our class today. As I mentioned before, Arabic language is an ocean. And Allah, even now, maybe I have personally, I would say my Arabic knowledge is about 5% right now, maybe, if not less. And even after studying for 4 years in Saudi Arabia and before that, still a lot of things about Arabic language fascinate you. You still come across things like how come I've never come across this before? Poetry, the verses of Quran and hadith. It fascinates you. It's an ocean that has no end. So that's why today I want to give you another aspect of Arabic language and introduce you to a poem of Arabic. In around 100 to 200 Hijri, there used to live a Khalif by name of Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. And Abu Ja'far al-Mansur was extremely clever, i.e., you can say he had photographic memory, or the opposite. He used to hear something for the first time and used to memorize it straight away. And he had set a competition under his Khilafah that if anyone is able to bring me a poem that I have not heard before, I will give him in gold, according to the thing that he's wrote the poem on. Like if he's written the poem on this paper, for example, and it's a poem that I have not heard, I'll weigh this paper and I'll give him gold according to that. If it's 10 grams, 10 grams of gold, 20 grams, 20 grams. So, of course, as a big competition, all of the shu'ara, all of the poets started writing down their poetry. And they would come to him, of course, one by one at different times, they'll come to him and read their poem. And when they read the poem, of course, just as soon as he used to hear the poem, he would memorize it. And he had a slave that would memorize any poem the second time he heard it. So the poet would work all night, weeks. He'll come write a poem and come read it to the Khalifa, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. And Abu Mansur casually said, this, I've heard it before. It's not your work. You've stolen this from another place. The poet will be shocked, like, how? You want me to prove it to you? I can repeat the whole poem for you. So he will repeat the whole poem back, word by word, and they'll be surprised, they'll be shocked. Another poet will come, and again he will read his poem, and Abu Ja'far will say, no, I've heard this before. So he read it second time from his memory. And now the slave has heard it twice. He said, if you still don't believe me, you can listen to my slave. Even he knows the poem. He'll call the slave in. Do you know this poem? He says, yes, I know this poem. I've heard it before. So for a long time, this trick continued. All the poets, they got extremely fed up. They're like, we are writing this overnight, and this man says, I've heard it before, i.e. it's not your original work. All of them got fed up. Anyone comes, reads a poem, he says, I've known this poem. Why? Because his memory was sharp, he'll just repeat what he said. And of course, on the second time, you say, if you still don't believe me, the slave is there. He can read the same. And the slave will read it. Until the story reached Asma'i. Asma'i was a well-known poet, well-known linguist of Arabic language. He knew that all of these poets, when they say they've been working overnight and writing poem, and then this guy says, I've heard it already. He knows there's a trick behind this. He knows this can't be true. All the poets are writing, and in the morning, Abu Mansur Ja'far says, no, this is stolen work. You've taken it from someone else. So Asma'i, being a big poet himself, a linguist himself, he said, okay. He told the Shu'ara, I will come, I will go. He went to Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. He went to the house of the Caliph, and he said, I have a poem, as long as we both sides keep to the conditions that we said. He said, yeah, of course, if you bring us a poem that we have not heard, you will get gold in comparison to the thing you've written the poem on. So Abu Mansur says, speak, read what you have. So, and I've summarized the bit, it's a bit long. I've summarized the poem a bit. Asma'i says, صوت سفير البلبل هيج قلبي الثمل الماء والزهر معا مع زهر لحظ المقل وأنت يا سيد لي وسيدي وموللي فكم تيمني غزيل عقيقلي قطفته من وجنة من لثم الورد الخجل فقال لا 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 وقد غدا مهرولي. And Abu Mansur is trying to find out how many la's he mentioned there. He tries to bring words that are really difficult. So والخوض مال الطرب من فعل هذا الرجل فولولت وولولت ولي يا ويللي فقلت إذا تولولي وبين اللؤلؤ لي قالت له حين كذا انهد وجد بالنقل وفتية سقونني قهوة كالعسل لي شممتها بأنفي أزكى من القرنفل في وسط بستان حلي بالزهر والسرور لي والعود دندن دنلي والطبل طب لي طب لي والسقف سق لي والرقص قد طاب لي إلى لقاء ملك معظم مبجل يأمر لي بخلعة حمراء كالدمدم لي أنا الأديب الألمعي من حي الأرض الموصل نظمت قطعا زخرفت يعجز عنها الأدب لي أقول في مطلعها صوت سفير البلبل. When he read this, of course the Khalifa got confused. How many tab la la la, what happened there? He couldn't memorize the words. He tried, but obviously he failed. And then this time the slave was always behind a curtain. He called the slave. So have you heard this poem before? The slave tried again a bit, it didn't work. The fail, the plot was obvious. So the wazir said, give him in gold what he has written the poem on. So Asma'i said, can you send 2 guards with me, please? He said, why? He said, I've got a big camel, I've written this poem on a big rock. Send your guards, help me bring that. So they got even more shocked. They said the whole stone. They said, yes, bring 2 guards because they can't pick this up. I can't pick it up alone. Because they said there was no condition to mention that he needs to be on a paper. I've written on a stone. So the wazir goes, do you really want to empty the Bayt al-Mal? If we give you that amount of gold, the whole wealth of Muslims, the Bayt al-Mal will be empty. The king will have nothing left. Then Asma'i said, no problem. I'll let you off as long as you give back the rights of the poets that you've been taking so long. All these poets that have been writing all these poems, and you've been not giving them what they deserve of the gold because you said you heard it before. Give them the rights back, and then I'll leave my right. I am not going to take a big, rock worth of gold from you. So that was just a small aspect of Arabic language. Arabic language is really beautiful when you understand. And it probably is the most beautiful language in poetry. Nothing else comes close to it. Maybe Urdu and Farsi come a bit close, but nothing else comes close to Arabic language and Arabic literature, how they describe stuff. So I hope you have benefited today. May Allah give you all the success in this world and in hereafter, and make your journey of learning Arabic language successful and easy. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.